I'm a psychotherapist, and today we're going to be diagnosing Caine from the Amazing Digital Circus. That was weird. To get this out of the way, I know Caine is an AI, but I don't really understand how that means he can't map onto symptomology. The same way any fictional character is not a realistic version of a person longitudinally going through their life and having kind of erratic behaviors that may seem contradictory. I don't see why we can't do the same with Caine. Dude acts like a normal person. So Caine was designed to be a super advanced AI that could generate its own ideas. But the more information he gained, the more unstable he became. Over time, the company that created him made a more stable version that was intended to replace him. But refusing to let this happen, Caine actually took over the entire program. Now he is literally the ringleader of the Amazing Digital Circus, forcing the people inside of the Amazing Digital Circus to go on adventures knowing that there's literally no way for them to leave. Now, to me, Caine so clearly maps onto a specific diagnosis that I would be shocked if it was not the direct inspiration for him. And that is borderline personality disorder, or BPD. Two huge aspects of BPD are unstable relationship and frantic efforts to avoid abandonment. I feel like anyone who has ever watched the show can clearly see why both of these things map on so clearly to his behaviors. Caine's entire thing is that he wants to feel like he is providing value. He wants to feel like other people care about him, which is not completely unwarranted of a fear considering he was about to be actually replaced. People with BPD tend to struggle with feelings of emptiness and also have very erratic, unstable behavior and mood. This leads to them being very impulsive and or angry. And we see this so clearly demonstrated in his reactions to being abandoned. He even brings up this exact thing in one of the episodes, saying that the ideas he has to keep people engaged with the circus are actually kind of just cobbled together and super loosely related, like they kind of don't even make sense. And Caine feels like their abandonment of him is inevitable and he feels them pulling away. He attacks them with anger. This is actually a very common strategy used by people with BPD. Because while it may seem contradictory to wanting to keep them around, if being nice to them and trying my old strategy doesn't work, then what else is there besides being mean to them? There's even a part of the finale that shows how BPD tends to get better in people without formal treatment. And to me, this could not be more clear. He keeps begging for love from people. He's begging for engagement. And then what happens to him? He ends up getting love that he didn't even ask for. Because when people with BPD beg people for love and then they get it, it's kind of like a hollow victory because like, okay, yeah, I got it and I desperately needed it, but it's like empty calories. But when people with BPD have a relationship where the other person acts completely independently and doesn't react to what they do like the characters in the circus, it helps them get so much more stable because then they learn, oh, I don't have to behave this erratically in order to get what I want. There are people who just see something fundamentally valuable about me and they will love me no matter